Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We are going to talk about what we saw at the automation trade show, automation. Uh, how would you just describe it, Mike? Let's just jump right into it.
Sure. It definitely wasn't CES, which I didn't expect it to be. And to be honest, I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be, but it turned out to be really 100% focused on industrial automation, which by itself was very interesting to me.
Yeah, I felt it was so neat. It did leave me with a lot of questions because as I was walking through, I was both impressed and then thinking this company's not going to see the light of day because we have Optimus. Optimus will do that, no problem. And I'm going to keep making an Optimus reference as we make this video, but.
Sure.
Just everyone knows Optimus, but Amazon has the one that they're deploying in their warehouses, whatever humanoid style that they feel like getting, because there was two types. We'll show you guys here in a second. There was like this top down type with the suction cup, and it was sorting eggs, which we literally have that example from Optimus sorting eggs. Granted, the speed was probably much more.
Yeah.
And then there was the arm that everyone's seen. So I don't know. What's your initial thoughts on that as you're walking through and just seeing these? How many of them do you think, or do you think it's so niche, so performance beneficial? I guess versus an Optimus bot doing it maybe a little bit slower.
Yeah.
What do you think about what I just said, just in general?
I do think that there is a need for these single or couple purpose robots in the industrial space where they're doing something that's repetitive or something that needed to be done with a lot faster intensity, or basically doing something much faster than what the Optimus could do.
Okay.
So I think those are where these are gonna really shine. I think what really I ultimately walked away from the show was that if you think industrial labor is going to survive, I think you're smoking crack.
Yeah, very true. And I'm even thinking as far as like how many warehouses are there in the United States? The ones I have around me are all, we have warehouse. So we have Amazon fulfillment centers right down the street from me. I have an Amazon fulfillment center and I have a couple of those. There's the Ford factory that makes the F-150s. And there's another Ford factory, but it makes all the seats that go to the factory. I don't know. And just as you were saying that, I could see Optimus probably. So the argument for Optimus is we're in a human world. We built everything for humans. So if we're going to start replacing these humans, that's the case for humanoid robots. Mm-hmm. But I guess these arms, if they just needed to do one job specifically, you wouldn't need a full blown humanoid robot. You could beef up that arm. It could do it. I guess the wear and tear would be a lot. It'd probably last a lot longer. Longevity of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what else was what I came away with was it was start to finish, meaning you could unbox something, you could assemble something, you could repackage it, you could lift it. So an entire warehouse can be completely automated, start to finish. Is kind of what I walked away from with it.
Yeah, because. Again, we'll show you the two types here in a second. You walk in, there's just actually let's just jump into it. Let's just pull the pictures up. First of all, this robot is, I think, Mike's son. It was weird. So it like locked onto Mike for some reason. It's like looking up at him and tilting his head, like just trying to listen to what Mike's saying, and even I felt it was weird. It was very awkward.
It was weird.
And it would follow you around.
It kind of followed me around and was like just looking at me like, Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kept making fun of it. Like, that thing's wondering if you're its dad. Like, it was kinda just it was that look, this little kid thing looking at you, 'cause height-wise, this was shorter than both of us, and it gave off the weirdest feeling ever, and hopefully I don't feel that way with Optimus. And you know what? I think I like Optimus much better because it just has the black face. I think it was the eyes because the first of all the head tilts, moves around, and then the eyeballs locked onto you. And like I wonder if that's got to be the cameras in there, but the like the pupils are moving around, following you, and you're like,
Yeah.
hey,
It,
stop.
I'm not gonna lie, it creeped me out.
Yeah, it was weird. There's one thing I didn't take a picture of, and I just noticed it right here in the back. So these were giant, like car movers. And I know people have seen the videos of these before. These came in all different sizes, but this would go under the car, lift it up, and then go park it somewhere. These were like I could lay across that.
Yeah.
There's huge ones. I thought those were cool. And now I will say I was kind of a critic on this one because I was going through and I was asking them industrial or are we coming out to the and I forgot industrial, but what was the word?
Consumer.
Consumer. There we go. Yeah, I remembered consumer, but I forgot industrial. So anyway, I was trying to find the one place in like who's got the consumer stuff because I need to know like one, are you publicly traded? Two, I'm coming at that angle. But how cool? I mean, the Teslas you can hail them and all that, but what if you just pulled up to Walmart and you just parked on that and it went and parked your car? Hey, you're number 77. Hit that button on the keypad when you want your car to come back up.
Right.
There's no more door dings. No more, no more cart boy because there's no carts out in the middle of the aisle. It's a lot to spend, but we're
Did
lazy. People are lazy. How awesome that be to just to pull up to the door of every building and then that goes and parks your car.
did you get a picture of those automated carts?
Um, no.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
So
little.
there were literal carts, like mail carts. Like you would see in an office, someone goes and gets all the mail and goes and divvies it out somewhere else. But they were how much were they? 15 grand?
Something like that.
Yeah. So full lidar kit and everything under there. All you would need is just to load that cart but you program it. So the first time you program it, you just go physically walk the route, and then it knows that's where it's at. It doesn't run anything. Like again, full lidar underneath, and it just does the mail stuff for you. How many other cases were there? Or I guess anywhere you need a cart to be pushed around.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be a coffee cart. It could be whatever.
Yeah. Oh, talk about keeping your before you place your employees with robots. Keep that coffee machine. You don't need to stand up, go to the break room. Coffee's on your way. Which one do you want?
That's right.
That's the ultimate. There we go. Okay, I told you guys real quick. This is the website. Don't bother going here. There's not any pictures, which bugs me for some reason. I hate when I go to a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory and it's a book to read. There's no pictures because I'm one of the guys that just orders the books. Like, show me the images. I don't care what you're trying to sell me in the letters. But
Although
there was this style arm, 4 or 3, and suction cup at the bottom, and a lot of these had that little suction cup. One moving eggs was like this, and it was incredibly fast. I will say that. Uh, but there was. Let's just show here's the other one, the other style arm. 45,000 of these arms right here. Uh,
and that's probably no joke. There was a lot of arms.
Yeah, from every size too. I mean, these I'd say are medium. There were some probably half this size, and then there were some I thought they were gonna fight because they had them like next to each other. They were black and white. It's like we're throwing down. We got battle bots over here, but they were a little bit. How tall are you, Mike? 'Cause they were tall as you.
I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay, yeah, they were decent size. Some monster ones. So that was the two styles of other than the humanoids and the dog. I did find a company that made an emotional support dog for me. But then there was every type of attachment for these arms. Like there's your little claws there. This one's holding a golf ball. No, this one's actually playing golf.
Yeah.
That's actually a 3D printed putter right there. and it would drop the golf ball. On the other side, it actually went around. It would just grab a new golf ball, put it in front, and then the putter would hit it. Or is it this one right here? Because it's dropping the ball in that little tube and it's coming down. And the demos were, I will say, the coolest one. The one I take away from this was the one playing the piano because it had all the neon lights.
That's right.
There were so many arms there that I was like, I would have to have something to get the attention because, and we tried finding someone, but of course, by the time we came up with this question, I just want to know what's the difference in these arms. Like, sell me on your arm versus this arm. But the one guy we go up to and ask that question is literally just there selling the attachments for all the arms. He didn't care. I was like, well, you're in the right business.
Yeah.
But the one playing the piano was the coolest. He's not
Yeah.
happy.
So I mean, I think the important part was the attachments. There's an attachment for anything that you can think of.
Yeah.
I mean, they had attachment to spread pepperoni on a pizza. I mean, like, it was just ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it was decorating a pizza. Yeah, it was literally building the whole thing. There was one was building was it a 6-cylinder or maybe just a 3-cylinder engine?
it was building an engine.
Yeah. The impressive part, I mean, it was redecking it, so resurfacing it, so you can put the MLS. What are those called? Gaskets. Anyway, put the gas. So literally like resurfacing and then putting the head on top. It was basically like a long block sitting there, and it was just putting everything together.
Yeah,
Which that was one of the bigger ones. I thought that was cool because that's precise.
yeah, and it changed out the attachment based on what it needed for that particular role, which was kind of cool on its own. Like, no one had to intervene. They just went and did it itself.
Yeah, it was just this particular one was in a giant box, so no one was even in that room putting together an actual engine. Well, there's your robot. Okay, what do we got? Now this one's I specifically called out in one of our what jobs are still going to exist, and I said masseuse, massage therapist. So this is a massage table right here, and this little cart you wheel up next to you. Here's the hang on, let's going the wrong way. Here's your little control tablet. Here's the arm. This one had this massage head on the end of it, and then I guess you just tell it what to do. This one's slinging around an actual weight. This one's shaking up a bottle, like literally just shaking it up so the contents were mixed. But how would you feel about getting a massage from a robot?
If it works, why not?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
every time you sit in those massage chairs, it's always like just this far off. You're like, if it could just get a little bit further, a little more pressure, or not that much pressure. It's always like every time I sit, it's either like right on a bone or like just it's like trying to scratch your back. It's always like an inch off. You're like, come on.
Well, I think the advantage of this is that it's going to be a little more precise because it's an actual purposeful machine that has. Can be a little more accurate on what and where it's doing something to.
Yeah, I thought that was. I still think masseuse. I'm going to say masseuse because I don't care for massage therapists. I had some guy friends that were, and I couldn't get a massage from that. There's no way I could relax. Which, shout out to the guy massage therapist. He goes, guys don't want it from me because they say it feels weird. Girls don't want it from me because they don't want to be in a room with another guy. And I'm just like, well, that's a tough profession to be a male in.
Yeah, really.
And then you got this thing coming in. And now this robot we do have a picture of playing with the blocks. We'll say that one for a little bit. Hang on. This one right here. Here's the front of it. Now, all of these had the cool thing about this, because these arms, nothing new, right? Robots even already have these arms. What a lot of this showed off was the recognition system, because now a lot of them have cameras and everything built in. Somewhere along the lines, there's a camera on this arm recognizing things. So it wasn't not all of them. Sorry, I'll put it that way. Not all of them are pre-programmed. And you can ask Mike. I put that to the test because I wanted to see if it was a demo or not. One of them was like a it was a spinning as fast as like a centrifuge, spinning blood. You ever seen those machines?
Hmm.
And anyway, there was Benadryl in there, and it was taking a picture of everyone as it passed the camera, spinning as fast as can be, and on screen you would see bad tablet, bad packaging, tearing the package, um, and just to make sure that I wasn't just looking at something pre-programmed, I went and stuck my finger in front of the camera. I was like, take a picture of that, and then sure enough, yeah, my hand started showing up on camera. I was like, okay, so it's real. I was excited about that. Uh, but I think that's going to be the turning point because walking in here, um, and you see all the arms. That's what I thought. Like as cool as Boston Dynamics is, a robot is just if it's pre-programmed, it's not anything but an actuator going off in my mind.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think that was the highlight of some of these robotics companies, like this one, and then that one out of Germany
yeah, we can get to that one.
was that they were highlighting the fact that they weren't pre-programmed, that they were actually like the one was actually telling it, "Hey, go pick up this mouse," and it was using an LLM in the background to understand what a mouse was,
Hmm.
and it would go pick up the actual mouse versus what else was on the table.
Yeah, it
Um,
it was a doll mouse, by the way.
yeah, right. A
Go
stuffed
get that
animal,
real, go get
a
that real
stuffed
mouse.
animal.
Petco employees are in trouble.
Yeah, a stuffed animal of a mouse.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a bunch of things. There's like a water bottle, just a bunch of random stuff, and you would just say, "Hey," and literally it would say, "Pick up the mouse," and then this little arm would come down, identify which one's which, or it did the identifying first,
Yeah,
and then pick the route and went for it,
yeah.
which was actually this company, Nura. Nura, I'm saying it right. Yeah, they're a German company. This particular one is ready to rock. There,
That one's released right now, right? Is
yeah,
that correct? Yeah,
yeah. There was two models though. Uh, no, sorry. The humanoid was the more expensive one. So that's
right.
this one. This company right here. This one's more expensive. This one's mostly metal, where the other one had a lot of plastic in there, so it was a lot cheaper. But they were talking about they're getting past some regulations on this one. Because they were talking, and I didn't think about this, but apparently, you can't just have a robot in your house right now. Which
Yeah,
I don't know if
what
they're what's
one
that?
of the example he gave was what if it ran out of power and fell over, and then
Yeah,
your kid happened to be right next to it and it got trampled on by this power failing robot. Like that's a
yeah,
bad day.
yeah. So I don't know if it's regulation because I think I haven't heard of any law that says you can't. There's no. That's just like me buying a toy. Because it's 6 foot tall, all of a sudden it's different than my 3 foot tall robot.
Yeah, I wonder if that was because it was the EU.
Nah, maybe. Because I was thinking when he said that, instantly I thought of Peloton. Remember when the kid got sucked up underneath the treadmill?
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah, you probably don't want that PR.
yeah,
That's gonna limit some sales right there. Oh, you have a
yeah,
family? Probably not gonna want this robot. Um,
yeah.
but
I don't think there's any regulations in the US about selling robots right now.
yeah, I looked into it one time. I didn't see anything, but
Yeah,
obviously I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't trying to investigate it. But this was first of all, I went around asking everybody, "Are you consumer or industrial?" Because I wanted to find someone that was consumer. And these guys want to have this. Was it 2025 next year?
next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're expecting to get through all the hurdles and have it released by next year.
How did that? This looks like a. You can't. I didn't say this to the guy that was there. Does this not look like they're trying to look like Optimus?
It's a humanoid, right? They're all going to have some similar features.
This looks like a real bad stormtrooper cosplay. Because I really thought that was like a man in like yoga pants or something. I was like, is that even like? Come on! Once we got closer, I was like, oh, it really is a humanoid robot.
Yeah,
It's just covered up with some gloves and yoga pants.
yeah.
Um,
Their consumer version, it's not humanoid,
this
but
thing right here.
yeah, But that was kind of cool. It would go around, clean up the house and stuff.
Yeah, so this one's ready to rock right now. If you have an office, because right now it will vacuum the floors, push in all the chairs. If you have like loose water bottles that need to go in the trash, all that, it'll throw that stuff away for you. Takes about an hour and a
Right.
half to charge, and then it's got 8 hours? 8 hours
8 hour.
depending on the workload.
Yeah, 8 hours. He said.
Yeah, so this is an office cleaner. Just goes around. Did you ask him? Am I making this up in my head? Does it dust or no?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It might. I mean, he basically said it was basically an office made, is what he called it.
Yeah. And this was the cheaper one because there's more plastic. He referenced that other robot had some heft to it because it was all metal, where this has like metal arms but a plastic housing.
Yeah.
This one was I guess the cheaper model. If you want to replace somebody right now, this is the one.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised. I guess we'll have this conversation in a year. See how many of these are actually out in office. Because right now there is cleaning services, and you really just need to put the numbers together as far as do I let go of my cleaning service and have one of these, or
Did he say what the cost was on this? I don't remember.
he says the same cost as their e-bike.
Okay.
I don't know how much an e-bike costs.
I want to say it was under 10,000.
Yeah. Yeah, he mentioned that. Well, the reference he said no one would buy this if it was over that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was the let's go right now robot.
Yeah. This one you could replace a cleaning crew in your office.
Yeah, and it's happy to do so.
That's right.
Go over the blocks. Okay, let's do my. I was gonna try to get it. Oh, hang on. I was trying to get the dog over here. Oh, I have to download it. 1 second. Please be the dog. Play dead. There we go. That was hilarious. This little thing's just walking around. Does it do like jumping push-ups? Yeah. So basically, everyone's seen the Boston Dynamics one. This one's like this, a little bit bigger than a Chihuahua. This thing was very, very small. I don't know what this does. The first thing I thought of was they just made one of these with a flamethrower on top. So that's awesome. But like what do you do with this thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Other than I do want to carry it on a plane, and I just want to carry this thing around and have it walk next to me. And if anybody asks, it's my emotional support animal.
I mean, I guess this is good for like emergency services where they could walk into places and like check things out. Throw a camera on it.
True. Okay, I guess going into a house that might be collapsing soon, or
yeah, see if there's a person inside or whatever. I mean, there's some use cases for it, but it was cool, right? Like I think it was pretty peppy. Like it moved pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was a quick video. The thing's just walking around.
It's just walking around.
Yeah, it took all. It was just unleashed, just doing its thing. Just a happy little dog, and people are just walking up, and it would know when someone's close because it would back up away from them.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I just want one, but I really wanted to ask. I should ask somebody there, like, what would you use this for?
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but like, well, other than someone in like the like law enforcement, firefighters, I can understand that use case scenario.
Yeah.
Well, what's this thing doing? Other than my dogs right now would go nuts barking at it. I guess I guess you could put one of those arms on the end of this thing. Put one of those little small arms right here, and you can just walk around and pick things up.
Yeah, it could.
In your yard.
It definitely could.
Would you own one of these?
No. I'd rather have an Optimus.
Well, what if you had Optimus already, and this is for sale? $100.
Nah. Don't need it.
it's not a need.
No, I know. It's more crap I don't want to deal with.
Yeah, true. I want an excuse to buy one. I need to be sold on this one.
So
So
I will say, CES is going to be a
mhm,
must next year because that's more of the consumer electronics.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, this was cool. I mean, I actually it met and exceeded my expectations.
Mhm.
I thought it was neat. Um, but I really want to go to CES next year.
Yeah. I heard the last CES was a bunch of rows, not a bunch of rows. There was a bunch of those automated lawnmowers, the little Roombas that are outside.
I really want one of those.
Yeah, I want a few, um, just so I could have a lawn mowing service. Um, but I'm curious. So not only am I curious to see what CES has, I'm curious, and ultimately, this is what really bugs me. If there's ever anything I wanted to just shake somebody on, it's don't look at what's out, look at what's been out and what came out, and then look at the time difference. Like when we talked about Optimus,
Yeah,
90 days later, it's a new model. So I want to see CS last year versus this year because
right,
that is going to tell you where we're at on that exponential curve. Same
right.
thing with I guess I guess next year. We're going to do this again next year to this show as well. And it'll be interesting to look back and say in 2024, we saw a bunch of arms. What do you think we see in 2025?
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more humanoid robots at this show next year.
Hmm.
I think the few that were there had quite the crowd.
Yeah, they did. And I would actually, I would agree. I think for every arm we saw there, there's going to be some type of humanoid.
Yeah,
Which I wanted to. Let's bring this one back up. We didn't talk about this guy. This is like a nurse robot or something like that.
yeah. I think this whole booth was dedicated to medical robotics. So
Yeah.
sorting medications and like administering and like I think this was like a little nurse guy, which they got to work on that. It's too creepy to be someone attending to someone
They need to put sunglasses on it.
or something.
That's what they need. Yeah, because this one back here was picking the food, sorting the apples. There was another one just over here, round, and it was like 3 or 4 trays, but like shelves. There might have just like,
That's right.
and that one you would just put your food on, and then it would go deliver your food to you in your room. Uh, yeah, and the other one was checking vials. Remember
Right.
that one?
Yeah.
That one was fast.
Yeah.
Benadryl you could make out. It was Benadryl packets, by the way, but you could
Right.
still make it out as some kind of medication packet. And in the pictures, you would see it was taking pictures of the pills inside there. The one with vials, it was checking the labels and checking the caps. And that thing, uh, everyone watching this probably knows how fast a strobe light goes. In between 2 blinks of a strobe light, you were probably 30 or 40 bottles
It read
past.
it read fast.
Yeah. And it would tell you good, 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 bad cap, good, 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 bad label, and it would just notate each one. But and I mean, within it had to be how many do you think a second was it going through?
Oh, at least 10 or 20 a second.
My guess was going to be 20.
Yeah, maybe more. I mean, it was rapid.
Yeah, because it was just humans can only see so many frames per second, but it was like a literal blur. That's how fast this thing's going. And each image it's throwing up of these vials with bad caps and bad labels, just clear as day. Like
Hmm.
and they weren't spaced out. They were literally 1/16 of an inch apart. Like that thing was moving.
Yeah.
Um, so the two that impressed me the most was this whole little hospital scene they had here with all the different ones. Uh, these were the biggest ones that I liked, but it was the giant car jack.
Yeah.
You can only get so impressed about that. I want one because that'd be cool. Move my car around back,
Yeah.
just because. Uh, And then the other one was Nura with the because they had stuff ready. It was like I could buy that thing right now.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
they were probably the most advanced booth.
yeah, yeah, because you could talk to theirs.
Right.
Everyone
Yeah,
else had some.
they all had back end LLMs that they were uh, using.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it was
because
pretty impressive.
all the other ones, everything had a tablet, everything had a camera. You, but I didn't see other than Nura. I didn't see other than the robot that thought you were its dad. Uh, a lot of it was like pick on the tablet what you wanted to do, and it would still use recognition, all that, and work its way around and navigate. But there wasn't the talking to it.
Yeah,
So I bet next year humanoids and talking with the
yeah,
especially with the Chat GPT 4.40 that just came
yeah.
out.
I agree.
We're about to do a video on that later. How fast you can talk to that and it replies like an actual human, like as in a normal conversation, no lag. Next year, I bet all these we're talking to them,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and I'm gonna try to trick them. That is gonna be my goal right now. I'm gonna make an alias something, but I'm gonna tell it to show me your top speed and go to that booth there and back. And if the robot listens, I'm buying it. I want to see just a robot take off, go to the next booth, and then come back like it's trying out some new shoes. That's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Any thoughts
Oh,
on robots falling down on your kids?
I don't have kids, so no thoughts from me.
What if you had a kid over and then a robot fell on you? Like, how worried are you about that?
Actually, I'm not worried at all. I mean, they show the videos I've seen where they're kicking these robots, trying to make them fall over, and they're just taking it.
Mm.
I mean, it's gonna be a freak accident if something happens.
Yeah, I do feel like that's has to be one of the easiest workarounds for safety protocols or anything like that. Like once you're at a certain battery threshold, it knows to go charge, much like drones have now. You know, hey, it's
Right,
time to go home and land. It alerts you, and then if it's a DJI drone, it'll alert you. But then you can ignore that alert. Eventually, it's going to say, "Nah, we're shutting this thing down." You know, and
right,
it'll start flying back on its own,
right.
and then it'll try flying back to its last location. But if it gets that low, it'll just land right there safely. So I'm curious, like that has to be it just falls into a tuck position or just lowers itself down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all this has already been thought of and already dealt with. I think for like I think what they were really explaining was making sure that they got through the certification or hoops that they had to go through, the regulation hoops
Yeah,
to basically certify that yes, it does this.
yeah, yeah. Because that's I didn't want to press the guy. I didn't want to take his time, but I really felt like I thought of the Peloton situation. Sure,
Yeah,
I guess a freak accident,
yeah,
but even then, because no one wants a freak accident. That's why they're called that in the first place. But I feel like that's super avoidable. The only freak accidents I could probably see happening are falling down the stairs. I
oh,
certainly don't see a freak accident happening on a flat plane. You live in a ranch style house with no stairs.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
yeah. Are you gonna robots walking down the stairs and then an earthquake happens? Yeah, it might fall down the stairs, right?
yeah,
But that's not a normal circumstance.
surely they've already thought of the earthquake situation too. No, actually, there's a robot we haven't talked about, and this solves all of our questions. There was a robot hand with a tray on top and a metal like ball bearing,
Oh yeah,
and you could tell it where to put that ball bearing, and it would move, and it would move and tilt until that ball got there.
it did it fast too.
Yeah, and you're probably thinking like if anyone's ever watched the challenge or Survivor, they always have some kind of challenge like that, and people are wiggling, they're trying it, and if you said put that ball in the middle, they would go and it'd overcorrect, so they're bringing it back. It was it
It was
10,000th or 1,000 frames a second?
I don't know, but it centered that ball and the ball didn't move like within 1 second. Like it was ridiculously fast.
Yeah, so this is at least a foot long square, got a
Right.
1 inch ball bearing. put that thing in the corner, you would have thought there was magnets in this thing because it just went there and stopped. Like, nope. And you know, just like I'm gonna put my hand in front of the camera, like, no, I don't believe that. Like, but no, it was like you could just tell wherever you wanted to go, and he
Yeah.
would put the ball there. No overcorrecting. It said the sensors on there were it was measuring either 1/1000th or 1/10,000th of a second,
Yeah.
and that's
It
how
was
sensitive it was.
it was crazy. That was pretty good.
Yeah, if they put anything like that in the feet of these robots, it's going to tell you when an earthquake's coming before you can even feel it. They're like, oh, that was like a 0.001 tremor. Here comes another earthquake. You guys might want to hang tight. It's going to be about 46 seconds. You're going to feel it, you know, which would be very impressive. But I wish we should have taken a video of that.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah,
You know what? We'll take more videos next year. I mean, we learned. It's the first conference. We learned. We'll do better next year.
yeah. And we got to think of some interesting job titles. These guys were there ready to sell us something.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know who their clients were. All right, let's wrap it up here. It's going to be interesting to see how this compares to next year.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun.
All right, we'll see you guys all in the next one. Right? No other. Yeah, there's no other stuff, right? Yeah, do
No.
the subscribe, all the cool stuff. You know. We'll see you guys later. Let me know in the comments down below. Should Mike adopt this thing? That's what I need to know. You said Mike doesn't have any kids. Does he need one of these at the home? And if you say yes, it's gonna happen. So let me know in the comments down below. Do we need? Wait till you see this in real life. This thing was. It was eerie.
Super creepy. Super creepy.
Which I would 100% put one in Mike's house for that purpose alone. Give me an excuse. All right, I'll wrap it up. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.